The book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 3 and 4. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akims that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, then to those that cleave to the body. And this lesson gonna be pretty much about esteeming others. Okay, esteeming others higher than yourself, which is in high honor. All right, when the Father have put a spirit on a man, all right, to be able to put others before them, as Yahweh Shah did with the disciples, all right, along with the healing, the miracles, and everything he was doing. All right, he came to do everything of the Heavenly Father, so he automatically was placed in second. All right, and knew his role and understood it, but most of all, he respected it. All right, and that's what we have to do to esteem each other. You know, a lot of men sometimes I'll find it difficult, all right, to respect order, all right, esteem, all these things is all through the spirit of esteeming a man, all right, or esteeming men, okay, because there's an order or a rank set up in place, every man after his order in the book of 1 Corinthians. So either way it go, all right, we'll have to esteem other men, all right, as higher than ourselves, or value them, all right. And it just don't mean, okay, you're having to respect some persons, all right. No, it's just a temperament of respect, all right. I want to get this word esteem. I want to see what it says here. I didn't in Philippians 2 and 3, and this won't be long. This is straight to the point, all right. You know, being humble, you know, giving out humility, understanding that, you know, other men, all right, is set up before them, all right, or whatever the case may be. Every man or every brother, all right, has to be esteemed as such, as a brother. It says, Hi Hejonami, Geomai, Hegemai, all right. It says to lead, to go before, to be a leader, all right. Esteem, to have authority over. It says a prince of regal power, governor, viceroy, chief, leading as respects influence, controlling in council, overseers or leaders of the churches. Now you got overseers of the flock, sheep, you know, of the sheep. You got elders, different brothers, right? We got apostles and elders. We got bishops, elder bishops. Then we got heads over camps, all right? That's the way the order of the Lord set up on earth. So we ought to esteem that as such, man, all the way down to the younger brothers, all right? All right, it says the leader in speech, chief, spokesman, to consider, deem, account, and think, right? So I would think is to consider the official authority, man, all right? You see that? That's what they got in a blue letter, all right? See if they have anything else. To lead, guide, direct, all right? So we have men in place to guide and direct us, like, right? It's better to die than to live your life without a guide, all right? So that's in the like and the esteem. And I have it queued up right here. It says to value, determine the value of appraise, right? You see? It says the sense of value and respect, all right? Esteem got a little more, yep, held in high regard. So there's men that the Lord have put over us, all right, to guide and lead us, okay? And we ought to esteem it as such. So, and lowliness in mind, if we esteem others better than ourselves, or we will be coming in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. And all that may basically mean is to be able to put a man before you, which is the second greatest commandment. Laying your life down. So laying your life down consists of the things that happen in your life too. All right? You got to give a brother drink, clothes, feed him. You got to counsel with him, rebuke him, reprove him. You basically got to do the entire Bible with your brother. All right? So that's why it's imperative that you have a mindset of esteeming. All right? You see? Of making sure you're esteeming or putting men before you. Okay? Let's get this in Luke. Is it Luke 14? Yeah. I'm going to start at 7. Right? This is the parable of the guests. It says, and he put forth the parable to those which were bidden when he marked how they chose out of the chief rooms, saying unto them, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. All right? So there's more honorable men upon the earth that the Lord bestow a more abundant honor upon. All right? Gave more, more of the spirit in a higher rank in the heavens than you. So this is a ministry of esteeming, man. That's just the way it is, man. All right? You know, if any man think himself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. Right? Okay? Deceiveth himself. And it says, and we all was bidden to the wedding. Right? But as we was bidden to the wedding, it was a reason we got an invitation at different times, man. All right? It says, so when you been to a wedding, don't go to the highest spot. Basically, find out where you belong at, man. All right? Or sit in the Lord, just going to tell you. And he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, give this man place, thou begin with shame to take the Lord's room. You see? But when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the Lord's room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend. All right? Which is Yahweh Shai, called us friends. Go up higher. Right? He's the man that's bidden the supper. Then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. You know, that's why I say, when thou sittest with great men, hold yourself. Right? It says, for whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So in order to have men esteem you, all right, you got to give it. It got to be given, all right? Now, what I mean by men esteeming you, it's just men respecting you. This is a ministry of respect and valuing what you bring to the ministry, man. Now, you can't just esteem men and then no men esteem you, right? The Lord pack fair, all right, in his house. You see? No, that's why I say let the same mind be in you, which was also in the Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All right? No? Not looking on your own things, but every man also on the things of others. Which, that's not an easy thing to do, especially if you growed up in a household or something where you didn't have to share. All right? You didn't have brothers, family members, or whatever. It ain't gonna come as simple. As if a brother that actually had those experiences of having to do that. Now, when you got to make the choice to do it, it's much more difficult. I don't want him over me, younger than me. Whatever the case may be, right? Whatever comes to your mind that hinder you from understanding your positioning and the calling in which you was bidden to the marriage, man. All right? You entered into other men's labor. You coming into a house where men was already dwelling and living at. So you got to find out where your room at. You got to find out what is asked of you, man. All right? that you may esteem you may be esteemed of the other brothers, that man, this brother could he could take rebuke. You know, he teachable. All right, you know, it's a sign of humility, and those are the fruits of the Spirit ultimately. All right, so that's what you want to make sure you know you're doing. You see, this is Romans 12 and 16. Be of the same mind one toward another, right? As it tell you in 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. All right, we are all in one mind. Mind not high things. High things is thinking you on a level that you're not on. All right, you know, that you're greater than your brothers, or whatever the case may be, man. Right? But condescend to men of low estate. You see? Be not wise in your own conceits. Right? Look up this word condescend here, right? Show feelings of superiority, be patronized, right? Do something in a hearty way, all right? So you can't put yourself in a position as a man that's been laboring 15, 20 years and you've been laboring 2 years, 3 years, all right? You're going to have to esteem that man of higher value than yourself, man. All right? And there's nothing wrong with that. All right? There's nothing wrong with that, man. All right? So you can't be wise in your own conceits, man. Thinking the way you serve the Lord or whatever the Lord dealing with you, all right, that you should be the head, you know, let's just say you should be the elder of the church. All right? Because you thinking in your mind, I can do things differently. I'll run it like this. I'll do this. But things ain't always easy as it seems. All right? And remember that the Spirit of the Lord got to be working with you, all right, to lead and guide sheep, or being an overseer of the flock. You know something? No, man, I'll stay there. But that's just being in the same mind, but condescending. All right? You got to condescend to men of low estate, right? Not take advantage of, all right? Look upon with meekness and kindness, be gentle, all right? You know, go about it as Yahweh did with us, you know, just esteeming every man. Let me get that. This Romans 14, this the principles of your conscience, supposed to be, all right? All right? So Romans 14 and 5, it says, I'm going to start at 4. Who art thou that judges another man's servant? And we are all other men, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh servants. All right? Though yet we serve each other, our masters are still Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. Your brother is not your master. All right? It says, to his own master he standeth or falleth. You see? Yea, he shall be holding up, for God is able to make him stand. One man esteem it one day above another, another esteem it every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. All right? So the way that men esteeming things is you looking upon that man and, like, you know, in respect of the things that he esteem and like. You know, you're not pushing things upon him that'll cause him to err off, and vice versa, other things. All right? Man, my diet might be a little different from yours, you know, but hey, you know, it's what it is. Esteem the man as a brother and a friend, all right? Because he's fully persuaded in the Lord like you. He believe in the Lord. He just do things differently, all right? But furthermore, esteeming men is a godly trait, all right? To be able to put a man before you, you know, all right? Because this is Sirach. I always got to get this account, right? Because this is a hell of an account, right? I believe it's 30. Is it 33 or 32 and 1? Yep. Sirach 32 and 1. And this was the mind of Yahweh. If thou be made the master of a feast, lift not thyself up, but be among them as one of the rest. Take diligent care for them and sit down. And when thou hast done all thy office, take thy place, that thou mayest be merry with them and receive a crown for the well ordering of the feast. All right. So this go back to the Luke 14 too. All right. Yahweh, because Yahweh Shai, all right, during the supper, when he, was with the disciples, he was asking them to do things with him. He was amongst them. All right. As if he was them. He rubbed their feet. He did other different things. To basically show I'm of y'all. Though yet he got the highest honor of the Heavenly Father, but made himself Lord than every man. All right, you see? So there's no higher honor than that, and we must follow, in those footsteps. All right, the way that's done. Okay, because there's an honor for abasement. Right, this is Sirach 20 and verse 11. There's an abasement because of glory. So he that exalted himself shall be abased, and he that is abased shall be exalted. All right. It says, so there's an abasement because of glory. You're meek. All right. And that's honorable. You're honorable to look upon because you glorify Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And there's that lifted up his head from a low estate. So as we abase ourselves because of glory, the Lord have set his glory on us with the wisdom and knowledge. All right. He then we'll be lifted from a low estate, right? Wisdom lift a man's head up from a low estate. Yahweh Shai is wisdom, okay? You see that? So that's, token of respect from the Lord in itself, all right? The Lord love a man of a broken heart and a contrite spirit. That's a man that's low, right? It's Sirach 11 and 12. I'm going to start at 11. There is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind. So you got weaker brothers that you bestow more honor on within the faith in the ministry. You see? That you have to care for and watch after more. Okay, you got some brothers who are stronger. They don't need the looking over as much as other brothers. Do you see? All right? So you got men that's that way. Okay? So, when you go into the ministry, you understand that those brothers need more honor than other brothers, all right? Which is a way to esteem a man. That's how you godly esteem, okay? It says, and again, there's another that is slow and had need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty. Yet the eye of our power, Yahweh, looketh upon him for good and set him up from his low estate. You see? So that's what we should be doing, lifting brothers up through the Spirit, exhorting, admonishing, and lifted up his head from misery, so that many that saw him from him is peace over all. The prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come from the Lord, all right? Which is the point, wanting ability and full of poverty. Now, we are all poor, all right? We all want ability, right? The Lord look upon us for good, man, and that's from our low estate, you see? And that's what you just want to practice and do, man. That the Lord may have mercy and see, that mercy may be bestowed upon you, all right? Because we need that. We all need it, man. We all low, all right? 1 Thessalonians 5 and 12, and we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you. This is important. All right, because this is our conduct. It's the Christian conduct here as the heading. All right, Christians is followers, goes back to black, go back to, the followers of the Lord. Okay. It says, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake. See, they work for love. So we got to esteem every man very highly in love and be at peace among yourselves. Okay? Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, and be patient towards all men. So that's pretty much the point, all right? Let's just kind of practice how, esteeming others. Not practicing, man, but we're rehearsing the righteous acts. So, there's a element in that which sometimes you'll think of yourself a little bit more than others or whatever the case may be. But overall, all right, make sure you're projecting, all right, the fact that you have to esteem other men to be of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So till the next time, I'm going to give infinite knowledge and prayer for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. To the next video and see. Shalom.